Holy shit! Yes! Chapter 8, episode 24, season 3, the finale of Mandalorian. Oh man, I've just finished watching it. Emotional damage. Oh my god. I went through all the emotions watching this. It was incredible. I'm gonna get straight out. Let me just sort this lighting out a little bit. Oh my god. Listen, this episode gave me everything I wanted, apart from more time. I could have had a 2-hour episode. But they did so well to cram all the action into one final episode. I had all the visual cinematic shots that I love. The colours were vibrant. The fights were great. The storytelling was beautiful. This episode takes off exactly where we were in the last one. Although I realised that nobody really mentions Paz Vizsla in this episode at all. They don't even they know that they left him behind, but nobody really is like, oh, is he still alive? Nobody seems to care. But I can deal with that, even though he's my guy. Mando was taken by the troops, Gideon's troops, and he was playing possum a little bit. They had him in handcuffs and stuff like that. And then he battled his way out, got into a fight. Grogu comes around the corner with IG-12, and saves him in the suit, which I love because obviously he can get his emotions out to Mandalorian with saying no and yes and stuff like that just through the machine. So now you know what he actually means. But I thought it was so cold. The clone, what was the next part? Oh yeah, so the rest of the Mandalorians, obviously they were under siege at the time, getting attacked. They make it to the Gardens of Mandalore and recoup. They give a speech. Bo-Katan gives a great speech, and then they all suit up and they dive into an epic battle with the troops. And I'm telling you, visually this looked beautiful. They all flew up in the sky. Then they were joined by the rest of them, and then there was this epic shot of all of the Mandalorian, the separate, different colors, different gear, going down into the mines of Mandalore, and at the bottom you seen all the troops coming up in their gear, and then they went head to head, and Bo-Katan flew through with the dark saber, and she was just going ham, and the armorer, she was going in with the spanner and that. Oh man, it was a beautiful thing, and all these things are going on simultaneously. So why that fight's going on? Mando and Grogu and his droid, they're trying to get to the command center because basically saying we can't stop Gideon without going to the command center and stopping all the ships leaving, because they're gonna attack the rest of the rest of the Mandalorians, what are left with Grief. So they get to the command center, and of course Gideon suits up and is ready for a war, and he is ready for a war. And I have to say, he was kicking ass. He slapped on that helmet. He's got the bad boy armor. He went to town. He punched up Mando. He did punch him up. Like, Mando was trying to get the best of him as he could, but within that time, he was getting his ass handed to him. And when Mando started to fight back and get the upper hand, the Praetorian army, the Praetorian guards in the red suits came in with their electric taser things and stuff. And obviously then it's 4 against 1, and they're kicking ass. And then that takes for Grogu and IG-12 to come out again from the depths because they were hiding. And Mando had already given a speech to Grogu basically saying that we need to work together now, and this is it, man. There's no more like hiding. We have to battle this guy. And Grogu comes and saves him, and he starts like pressing the button saying no because he's being attacked, and he looks like he's gonna die, just like Paz Vizsla got attacked. But what that does, it draws the attention of the guards to Grogu, and at this point was where the emotional damage started for me, because they looked at Grogu and he's only small, and they all left Mandalorian and went after Grogu. And when Mando was on the floor battling, trying to help Grogu, Gideon was in the back just shooting missiles in his back and get over here, shooting all these kind of things in his back so he couldn't make it. And then the door closed into a room where the whole Praetorian guards and Grogu went in, and they started to slice IG-12 apart. The limbs were coming off. And then obviously the droid fell to the floor, and then Grogu's just left in there, and as they went to attack Grogu, he flew up in the sky, used the Force. And then Mando happened to come in and help him after, because what happens next, which I'm not disappointed that now it's finished because I get it. And this show really has just merged into, it's all about the Mandalorians as a whole instead of the Mandalorian in this particular season, because Bo-Katan flies in with the dark saber, badassery. You know what I mean? Hitting with the jiu-jitsu and the Muay Thai and all that, the knees. You know what I mean? And she says to Mando, "You go and save your kid. I've got this." Which at the time I was like, "Don't tell me we're doing this thing where he's being saved and he's a wuss." But she tells him to go save him. He does go and try to save Grogu, and she has a fight, an epic battle against Gideon, who he doesn't mind punching her up. She uses the darksaber. At one point, he crushes the handle to the darksaber, and it takes the darksaber away. And I'm like, at this point, like, she's gonna die. Like, I don't know how this is gonna happen, but she's gonna about to get ass handed to him. Meanwhile, Mando's trying to save Grogu, and all of a sudden he starts kicking ass, and he's using the blade. And all the beautiful thing about this was it was a partnership. It was Grogu and Mando working together, because Grogu started using the Force on them and moving their weapons out of the way. And then, it was a thing of beauty. They got the upper hand. They beat them. They end up back in the fight with Gideon and Bo-Katan to start helping. It's a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 battle at this point. And then the rest of the Mandalorians win, and the ship, it gets exploded. Because obviously if someone's flying the ship and they almost like self-detonate it, it starts flying down, and it causes a big explosion on the way down. And because Grogu's using the Force, when Gideon tries to get the sword and all these things, he just throws it away. And Gideon gets caught in the blast. He dies, and it looks like they're going to die as well, because they've all got the same armor on. So if Gideon's going to die, surely they're going to die. And you get this epic cinematic picture, which I'm probably going to get on a canvas. You just got all flames. It covers your screen you're watching. And then merging from the flames is this force field wrapped around them. And Grogu saved all of them with the Force. And I swear, this was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful shot. I thought it was absolutely great. Can't believe they've done that. They moved on from there. And obviously now it's like they've won the battle now. So they're in the mind of the Mandalore. Everyone's screaming Mandalorian, Mandalorian and stuff like that. I think, what's his name? I can't remember what his name is. Ragnar, the son of Paz Vizsla. Takes the word of the creed now, because he's not too young to be he's not a youngling anymore, so he moves up to full Mandalorian. And then Mando says to the armorer, like, add Grogu to the son, and she says he can't because he's a youngling still, he's too young to be an apprentice. And then he says, what if you get permission from his parents? And she says, like, no, his parents, you don't even know if they're alive. And he says, well, I'll adopt him then. And I had to take a moment at that point, because there's no expression from the Mandalorian's face because of the helmet, but you can still take all the expression. And then she says, "You're now Mandalorian apprentice and the son of Din Djarin. You should now be known as Din Grogu." And then I was finished, bro. The emotional damage got to me at that point, and yeah, I couldn't believe it. And then she basically says you need to leave because your apprentice needs to start his way and, go through the planets and stuff like that. Obviously the way of a Mandalore, because they're bounty hunters. And then we go back to, I think, Cravella, maybe, where the ship where Carson Tavor and the rest of them were in the previous one of the New Republic. And then, yeah, he basically says that he needs work. So he's going to work for the New Republic undercover under Carson Tavor. And all he wants in return as an advance is there's a drone head. And Grogu's attached to it because he thinks it's IG-11 or IG-12, and he said, "Just give me the head, and then I'll take that as the advance." And goes to meet Greef again on his planet, and Greef gives him the keys to I was about to say an apartment, but that's what it is. He gives him the keys to a home for him and Grogu in between missions to live together as father and son. And then Mando says, "I've got a present for you," and then IG-11 comes out looking brand spanking new, and then it finishes with a great shot of Mandalorian just relaxing outside of his new home, and Grogu sitting by the pond just messing with a frog. And man, I'm finished, bro. I'm finished. Well done, man. Well done. At this point, I never really care what anyone else says. Anyway, it's always based on my own viewing. I do take on people's points and stuff if I miss things, but nobody can. I loved it. I loved this finale. I loved it so much, and I'm a massive fan of The Mandalorian. It's not let me down once yet. There's been bits where you have a little bit negative towards it and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, man, this was epic. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Obviously, this has spoilers in it, but it's a review, so surely you've watched it by now. But if you're someone who's not interested in Mandalorian at all and you've watched my review and you like the sound of the show, just go back to season 1 and watch them all. There's 8 episodes in each one. You'll get through it in a day and a half and you'll be pleasantly surprised. This is beautiful. This could have been a movie. I've been your boy Good Savage. Comment, like, subscribe and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We'll chop it up. Din grogu. This is the way.